all came to understand one thing, and that is we have the knowledge now to feed ourselves by thoughts. The body will take energy. We can make it available to it, but it's like, as I always said, we eat 20% of the energy we use. 80% comes in from the environmental condition, from cosmic rays, from the fields in the room. And we know this to be correct because for decades, for a long time, from even when the man was in the primitive condition, we know when we touch, when we bring hands close to each other, we feel the other hand without touching. So we have an aura. In the new scientific era, they can show you the aura, which is the interaction of the magnetic field of your body with its environment. That's what an aura is. You radiate out. It's exactly like the way the earth creates light. Magnetic field of the earth in interaction, rubbing against the magnetic gravitational field of the sun creates a daylight. So it's the same with us. Our aura is the interaction of our magnetic field, what we give out and what comes in. And in that process, we have to start learning more. Now we start using this knowledge. We start creating this position where now we create magnetic field that compresses into the body. And in interaction with the internal magnetic field of the body, or what you want to call it, internal aura that we don't see, creates fields, create lights, which in conversion feeds the body of the man. So we don't need to kill anymore. And in that process, I've been told the whiteboard is ready to be used. If it does, we are ready to go. So if you take this as a soul of the man, or the center of the point of the body of the man, where do I get my colors? I've forgotten how to use this board. Okay, there we are. And then we see this as a brain of the man, where we take this as the body of the man in a shape of nervous system or blood circulation. Up to now, we ate to give energy into this system that can feed the others and provide energy as one way. That's a solid food. On the other hand, we learned to take air, which again came in and it distributed and gave energy. You call it with blood. And all these points was to sustain life or existence or give power supply, energy to the center that in its work, it can run the system in different way. Now what we have brought in, instead of you taking all this to convert to energies, in the development of the science and the technology, now we give you this, an extra unit, where we feed energies directly into the center. That this center does not need this and does not need this which means you can live in a space even without air, because the energy needed is supplied directly by plasmas from outside. What you called in the past the aura, now it creates a field, an emotion of happiness here in interaction, emotion of sadness, hunger, joy, and everything else. And then when this is created, the way when you're happy, the emotion gives you the direction of what we call happiness, and you show it as a smile. Now you receive the energy as a level of the happiness, and you see a smile, you run, you cry, and we see physical interaction. So this allows us to feed the body without actually killing, without actually destroying anything. And this has been the biggest problem, to find a source that can create this, that can breathe and feed the soul of the man, the center of energy, the star of the life of the man. What we believed, as I said, the solar system is in the center, and in the interaction of the fields of it creates Earth, Saturn, Jupiter, and the moon. We call it a joy. We call it sadness. We call it a banana. Different magnetic field, different strengths. And in that process, can we see what's on the other screen, please? Can you bring it back there? And then this allows us to create this new condition, where we do not need to put a sheep in there, a banana in there, or something else, or an orange there. With the plasmatic magnetic fields, which carries the totality of the energy fields of the universe, we can feed this into the system. And the body interacts with it and creates that condition. And the biggest point for us was to be able to understand and develop a technology which can be this, where in the present time we have managed to create these fields in these two units. We call it like a headphone, and create the fields that we can feed the body of the man, the emotion of the man. We can allow, even in that process, can I have a new page, please? Oh, it's here. Forgot it. Then what this allows us to do is that up to now we came with the center of the body, and we took the field of it. We have a condition of another magnetic field, which is we have created, and interaction of these, we create different energies. One banana, one orange, one thirst, one love, one fear. The biggest problem, the biggest development was to find a technology which now we can feed the body of the man in space. And once we get to this point, we have reached the major breakthrough. And now we are at that point. Test done here in Linz and test done in past 2 or 3 months with many of you, hundreds of you around the world. We have collected enough data. And we have developed the technology to create this 2 centers around your soul or central energy, the sun, that we can create condition of the field of emotion, allowing, creating fields weaker than what we call its environment, that this black spot, as you see it, can start growing and growing. Where up to this point, where the headphones were, we feed you, and from this on, the fields created by these head units allows your soul to expand. Go to Mars. Go to Grandpa, died years ago, in touch with soul. Now you understand that this process has created a new dimension in the world of science and technology. The whole secret was to be able to create the plasma that it matches the plasma of the soul of the man, the central sun of the man, and to bring this point in interaction. That in this part, to be the feeder, and to this part, to be the supporter. But as these units are plasmatic and they are in the center point of themselves, it's no problem for them to do so. It's taken years of research. I spent nearly 40 years trying to make what it is to travel in space without systems, without flying system. And now, once we understand this, we understand we can fly. In a way, we can go to, the flying is the job of the birds. Now, we can go to any point in that direction. Blocking into gravitational magnetic field of the position. The love of the mother who died years ago, Saturn, planet Zeus, or another galaxy. Because the plasma is like 2 magnets. Magnetic field of it interact, and this could be the soul, the strength of the field of the mother, or the strength fields of a position and time, or a vitamin, we call it, or an element. And this is where your system, soul is. Now we understand this. Now we have come to this point, was to develop this system, to create this monster that it can do everything. And in the process of time, to give us the chance to be able to go through this expansion of the soul of the man.